Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss a very simple question about journal entries. So let's start. Here is the question. 2023 January 1 commenced business with cash 50,000 rupees. So the business has been started with cash. The entry will be cash account debit to capital account. Since cash has come into the business, it will be debited. Cash account debit to capital account 50,000. January 2 purchased goods for cash. Now the goods have been purchased for cash. The entry will be purchases account debit to cash account. Since the goods have come into the business, we will debit purchases account. January 8 purchased goods from Mohan on credit. The goods have been purchased on credit, not for cash. So the entry will be purchases account debit to Mohan account. In second entry, we have purchased the goods for cash. So cash will be credited. But in a third entry, the goods have been purchased on credit. So the name of the person from whom goods have been purchased will be credited. So purchases account debit to Mohan account. Next entry. Paid into bank 5,000. The amount has been paid into bank. So entry will be bank account debit to cash account. So bank account will be debited. Debit the receiver. So receiver is the bank. Purchased furniture. Now furniture has been purchased. So furniture has come into the business. It will be debited. Furniture account debit to cash account. 2,000 rupees. Sold goods for cash. Goods have been sold for cash. So cash account debit to sales account. Amount is 7,000. Next entry is sold goods to Ram on credit. Now here the goods have been sold, but cash has not been received. Instead they have been sold on credit. So the entry will be Ram to sales. As the goods have been sold to Ram, name is mentioned over here, so we will write the name of the person. Ram account debit to sales account. Since we have not received the cash, we will write the name. Cash sales 3,500. So the entry will be cash account debit to sales account 3,500. Paid to Mohan on account 3,000. Now Mohan will receive the cash, so debit the receiver, and cash is going out of the business, so credit the cash. Mohan account debit to cash account. Next is paid wages. So wages have been paid for ₹100. Wages is an expense, so we will debit all the expenses and losses and credit all the incomes and gains. This is the rule. Wages account debit to cash account, being wages paid 100 rupees. Similarly, next transaction, paid rent. So rent is also an expense. Rent account debit to cash account 1,200. So next is paid salaries 2,800. Salaries account debit to cash account 2,800, being salaries paid in cash. In all the three transactions, we will credit the cash since cash is going out of the business. Rejected and returned 10% of goods supplied by Mohan. The goods which were supplied by Mohan, out of those goods, 10% of the goods have been rejected. Now here the amount is not given. We have to calculate the amount. How are we going to do it? Calculation of the goods returned. Now first we will see that how much of the goods we had purchased earlier from Mohan. Goods were purchased from Mohan for ₹6,000. Out of this 6,000, 10% of the goods have been returned. Total amount is 6,000. We are going to calculate it. 6,000 into 10%. So 600 is the amount of goods to be returned. Entry will be Mohan account debit to purchase returns account 600. You know that when the goods are purchased, purchases are always debited. Purchases are always debited and purchase returns. In case if there is any kind of return, purchase return, it will be credited. So this is all for today. Thank you.